Jeff Cruer analyzes and debates the critical issues facing our nation in Ringside Politics. Jump in the ring with Jeff Cruer as he squares off against the liberal media in Ringside Politics. His blow-by-blow analysis will keep you up to speed with what's happening in our nation and around the world. This is Politics with a Punch. Ringside Politics with Jeff Cruer starts now.
Good day, everyone. Jeff Cruer here. Welcome to Ringside Politics on Real America's Voice. Awesome to be with you. We've got some outstanding guests, interesting clips, lots of topics we prepared. So let's jump right in. A big welcome to all of our friends joining us on Pluto TV channel 240, Dish Network channel 219, the Roku channel, Roku Vizio, all the platforms associated with the Real America's Voice app, americasvoice.news, Samsung TV Plus channel 1175, Freecast channel 106, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and our friends online on Getter and True Social. Welcome to you all. You know, after the 2020 election was stolen, we got busy here on Ringside Politics, created our own program. It's called Project Keep the Republic, still rolling strong. It was inspired by the end of the Constitutional Convention when Benjamin Franklin was asked, "What kind of government have you given us?" He replied, "Madam, a republic." Notice he said republic, if you can keep it. Now, what does it take to keep a republic? Real, tangible action, adopting the warrior ethos, placing the mission first, never accepting defeat, and folks, we're never quitting. Organizing groups based on the days of the week. Morning Prayers Monday, Release the Kraken Tuesday, Sheepdog Wednesday, Tech Triumph Thursday, and our favorite, Fraud Busters Friday. So how can you, our great viewing audience, get involved? Just gather 2 or more people from your friends, family, neighbors, coworkers, or classmates. And as you get bigger, send me your photos and videos to Jeff at WGSO.com. We'll share them with our friends. Include a short description of your group and the action depicted. Now, if you want a copy of our slides, copy of our Sheepdog organizational plan, you can just email me at jeff@WGSO.com. I'll email it to you. Or you can just go on our website, cruer.net, my last name.net, CROUERE.net. Download it from there. Also on the website, some other good stuff. We've got my petition for the immediate resignation of Rhino Senator Bill Cassidy, who's on his way to losing his reelection bid. I like it that thousands of people have signed this, and of course he is a Rhino, and he voted to convict President Trump. He's trying to masquerade as a Trump supporter. We're not going to let him. And then, of course, we've got my note from President Trump and pictures I think you'll enjoy on the site. My new video is up there. The truth has not been told about Jeffrey Epstein. Love for you to watch it and share it with your friends. Info on my first book, America's Last Chance, and my second one, going to have it done by the midterms. Speaking of the midterms, how about that countdown clock that we have? It's getting so close, 185 days. Oh, my gosh. Subscribe to our podcast, which is ranked number 2 in Louisiana, On the Air with Jeff Cruer. You can also sign up for our free newsletter, get informed about what's going on. Hey, love for you to take our latest poll. We put it up there recently. Who's going to win the midterms, folks? What do you think? Is it going to be Republicans squeaking it out, Republican landslide, Democrats squeaking it out, Democrat landslide, or are we going to have a split Congress? Now, we've got a QR code you can access and go right to the poll, make it very easy for you, and vote. And that'll, of course, be appreciated. Love for you to participate in our new poll. Also, of course, we do our favorite pro-Trump image of the week, and this one was sent to us by Colin in Jefferson, Louisiana, and this is President Trump with Prince Charles and the bees, the world, just witness who holds the hive now. And this is with the First Lady and Queen Camilla as well. So if you've got a favorite pro-Trump image you want to send me, just email me at Jeff, Jeff at WGSO.com. We also give a shout out to our Ringside Politics Champion of the Week. This is a great group working to preserve history, preserve monuments, fighting neglect, fighting bureaucracies, making sure our history is not not remembered, history is appreciated, and that is the Monumental Task Committee. And you can learn more at monumentaltask.org. That's monumentaltask.org. And they have a great mission, no government money. They do it all based on volunteers and donations, and they preserve history all throughout the Gulf South. So they do a great job. You know, with the economy the way it is, folks, we got to continue to diversify, continue to be looking for what's best for our investments. And let me give you a great recommendation. It's called Birch Gold. As you diversify, consider Birch Gold. With so many things out of your control, out of the president's control, it's important to have that safe haven for your savings. That's why I recommend Birch Gold. They can help you convert an IRA or 401k into an IRA in physical gold. The best news is it doesn't cost you or your family a penny out of your pocket. So to get started, just text America to 989898. You get a free info kit. Learn all about it. So protect your savings today, folks, with Birch Gold. Text America to 989898 and get your free info kit today. All right, let's check out some of these topics that we're following here on the program. So the war with Iran is continuing. We've got a blockade. They have closed the Strait of Hormuz. No bombing, but that could start any minute. President says he's not satisfied with the latest deal that the Iranians sent him. There are no negotiators over there. President said he'd just do it by phone, and right now, not happy with the Iranians. So this could start at any minute again. And we need to open the Strait of Hormuz. President wants to see a nuclear material, doesn't want to give them any possibility of developing nuclear weapons because, of course, it's a radical jihadist regime. Now, last Saturday night, of course, the world saw what happened at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. It was interrupted by a gunman who ran through a Secret Service checkpoint and came way too close to President Trump. Cole Allen, 31 years old. And my question is this: where was the security? Security was definitely not acceptable. And a lot of people are saying, oh, the Secret Service did a great job. Really? And what planet are you living on? Did they do a great job? This guy got into the hotel with weapons, got through a checkpoint, firing at a Secret Service agent, could have, if he hadn't tripped, could have gotten into the ballroom with weapons, with knives. Who knows what he could have done? A deranged leftist. All this violence is coming from the left. Their leaders have TDS. Their followers get enraged, and unstable people like this guy feel like they're doing their cause a benefit by doing this horrible act. So we need to bolster the president's security. The Secret Service needs to be revamped. I haven't been happy since Butler, and you've had too many incidents that have occurred between 2024 and today. This week, you had Queen Camilla, King Charles in for a visit. Seemed to be a very successful visit. The president has a good relationship with him. He decided to get rid of tariffs on Scotch whiskey. He decided to, of course, listen to King Charles as he was pushing for aid for Ukraine, and the, of course, closeness of NATO, which, of course, King Charles was definitely here on a mission to preserve NATO. So we'll see what's going to happen. I do think the president is rightfully very upset with NATO, regardless of his good relationship with King Charles. NATO's let down the United States. This week, Congress passed the extension for funding for the Department of Homeland Security. The long 76-day shutdown is over. So this funding extension does not include CPB and ICE. That's going to be handled separately through a reconciliation bill, which will be passed with only Republican support. So now we don't have to worry about TSA agents not showing up. They lost about 1,100 during the shutdown. The folks had to quit to care for their families. So obviously they need to replenish the agents that they lost, but we're not going to be seeing the massive problems. Now, of course, we do have Spirit Airlines that just went out of business. So that's going to cause some problems because a lot of people had booked flights with Spirit Airlines and now going to have to scramble. And this could have been a merger that could have been approved during the Biden administration with JetBlue, but the Biden administration said no. And now Spirit Airlines is no more. Also this week, there's an extension for FISA Section 702 for 45 days. This allows spying on foreign individuals, even when they're contacting Americans, and American information gets collected without a warrant. I'm opposed to this. I think FISA is very problematic as far as those that believe in privacy and individual rights. And I would have preferred this to be not extended at all, but completely eliminated. So the battle continues on that. The battle is also going to continue on the president's new nominee to be Surgeon General. Nicole Saphier, who is a Fox News contributor. She's replaced Casey Means, who was not supported by Bill Cassidy, our senator here in Louisiana that we're trying to remove. President Trump blasted Cassidy for his obstructionism. Let's hope this new senator, this new nominee is approved by the Senate. Jerome Powell is going to be staying at the Fed, not as a chair, but as a member of the board. This is a guy who's been a disaster. In their last meeting, interest rates unchanged. Let's hope the president's nominee gets approved and gets in place very, very soon. Also this week, we saw a surge in gas prices after effect of the war. It's hurting the economy, hurting the prospects for the GOP to win the midterms. Hopefully, if the war concludes relatively soon, we can get these prices back down, because now the national average, $4.39 a gallon, but in some places like California, it's $6, $7 plus. James Comey indicted this week for his seashell post. This is a guy who is arrogant. This is a guy who targeted President Trump. And now he's going to have to answer for a threatening post that he put on social media. James Comey is someone that the left views as a man of integrity. I view him as a political hack. Speaking of a hack, Jimmy Kimmel facing criticism for his tasteless jokes concerning the Trumps. A lot of people out there calling for ABC to fire him. I don't think ABC is going to do it, but we can turn the station, we can turn the channel and just not watch this trash, boycott it, and watch shows that have more wholesome values, and you don't have haters that are the hosts. We used to have good late night comedy with Jay Leno and especially Johnny Carson. We don't have it anymore, and it's a shame. That's why people got to be watching Real America's Voice in the evening. All right, a lot more to get to as we roll on. Brief time out. When we come back, we'll talk UFOs with an expert who's going to tell us all about it. Michael Mazzola is going to be joining us next, right here on Ringside.
Everybody hates Beth. She eats all the food she loves and stays slim. Kim starves herself dieting, yet still can't lose weight. Beth is full of energy. Kim always feels tired. Beth has an unfair advantage. She takes Almacet, a breakthrough health and weight loss shake that optimizes your metabolism to help you lose weight in a whole new way.
I couldn't lose weight no matter how much I exercise. I tried Almacet. I lost 26 pounds.
The reason you're having trouble losing weight could be a liver clogged with fat that's slowing your metabolism, making it very difficult to lose weight and stubborn belly fat. Almacet is a scientifically proven food supplement that uses natural amino acids and bioactive peptides to help unclog your liver and optimize your metabolism so it's easier to lose weight.
My name is Stephanie Phillips Solar, and I'm an Almacet success story. I was able to lose 67 pounds with Almacet in roughly 7 to 8 months.
My weight is down. I feel much more energetic than I have in the past.
Over the course of time, I lost a total of 25 pounds. So thank you, Almacet.
Almacet is all natural, supports healthy blood sugar levels, and it's diabetic friendly. Some weight loss plans have you feel weak and hungry, but Almacet will renew your energy, and you can lose weight and feel great.
Almacet's unique protein can truly absorb in your body and aid with weight loss.
Studies showed Almacet helps you lose double the weight compared to other diets.
The fact is, Almacet works, and I highly recommend it.
Go to almacet.com now to get started for just $39.99. That's $4 a meal. We guarantee you can lose weight or you'll get your money back. Be like Beth and get the unfair weight loss advantage with Almaced.
My paycheck was just deposited into my Greenlight account.
Greenlight is so convenient. We had to use a vacuum tube.
Where is it going?
Bring your family into the financial future.
This is Fubo. It's your way to watch ESPN and other top sports networks. Plus, get coverage of your local teams all year long. Start watching at FuboTV.com.
I wasn't expecting this, but the documentary Death of Recess genuinely stopped me in my tracks. This isn't about dodgeballs and jungle gyms. It's about control. The modern American classroom didn't just happen. It was intentionally designed, standardized, and centralized. If you're a parent or plan to be, you absolutely 100% need to see this documentary.
Now streaming exclusively on Angel.
Okay, we got a great guest to kick off with. We had him on the radio show, enjoyed it. He's a co-author of Catastrophic Disclosure, acclaimed UFO documentary director. Michael Mazzola is with us. Hey, Michael, how are you?
Me.
Good to have you, Michael, and thanks for your book, Catastrophic Disclosure. Tell our viewers what that means, please.
Yeah, so I've been a UFO disclosure advocate and investigator for over 10 years. And disclosure means, an official transparency about not just the presence of UFOs, but also the technologies and everything that our government and the corporations that work with our government have done to keep this a secret. So when I started hearing the term catastrophic disclosure a few years ago, my ears perked up. I wanted to know what that meant too. And it was people inside the national security state who were saying to us privately, we have to avoid catastrophic disclosure. And so it turns out that what catastrophic disclosure means, it's not catastrophic for you or me or for the planet or for humanity. It's catastrophic for those people in power who have been keeping this a secret. It's catastrophic for the people who have killed countless people to keep this a secret. And it's disclosure that results in a complete loss of trust in our public institutions when people find out what's really been going on.
Right. And I think you make a good point. So let's talk about a few things in the news and get your thoughts. Multiple numbers of scientists, UFO researchers like yourself, are either dead or missing, and there's a connection between all these people somehow. Some say that's 20, 30, some say it's 11. What's going on here, Michael? Are these people being targeted? Is this just a coincidence? What?
I believe strongly that at least some of these people are being targeted because of their connection to this subject matter. This administration has promised us that they're going to release the UFO files. How great were the results with the JFK release or the Epstein release? I don't think anyone was really satisfied with that. And I'm not expecting anything better with the UFO files. For about 10 years, I've been urging people to go to the FBI website and the CIA website, where there are thousands of pages of UFO documents that have been declassified. They're just sitting there. No one's really reported on it. And I have a feeling that that's all that we're going to get. We're going to get something that looks fresh to people who haven't been paying attention.
But it's not.
But it's not. And the people who are really connected to these programs who could kind of call BS on what we're about to get are turning up dead.
So why are they hiding the truth from the American people, from the citizens of the world about UFOs? Is it because they are here among us? Is it because UFOs are real and aliens have really visited the Earth? Is it because they believe we can't handle the truth? What is it, Michael?
It's not because they think we can't handle the truth. I mean, most people think that it's real. The real reason that it's been kept secret is because these UFOs are extremely advanced energy and propulsion systems. And since the early 1950s, we have mastered gravity control. And way before that, we have mastered these energy systems. So you're talking about technology that pulls endless clean energy out of the fabric of space-time. It's the end of oil, it's the end of gas, it's the end of coal, it's the end of this entire global macroeconomic system, which is the foundation of our geopolitical system.
So this is to protect powerful moneyed interests, because if this information was released, if people had access to it, it would be the end of multi-trillion-dollar industries. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely, but it's also the end of really being able to control people, because when we talk about free energy, it doesn't just mean, you don't have to pay for gas, you don't get an electric bill. You're talking about the cost of making anything is 99% the energy that goes into pulling the raw materials out of the ground, shipping it, processing it. Mm-hmm. So if you bring the cost of energy to zero, you're talking about unlocking unlimited abundance for everybody. You're talking about a civilization where basically we're all living like immortal billionaires. And so if you are a fascist, and if your agenda is to control people, that's a situation that you want to avoid.
Okay, now these beings you believe are being held captive. That's what you told me on the radio show by government military officials or secret military intelligence operations. So, and these beings, these advanced beings, why can't they just free themselves if they're so advanced? I mean, how did they allow themselves to be captured if their technology is so much superior to ours?
It's a great question. But how do, relatively technologically advanced humans end up getting killed by an uncontacted tribe? In the Amazon, this kind of stuff happens. And ultimately, the answer is no matter how advanced they are, they're still just people, And we have been reverse engineering this technology for so long that we have reached parity in many cases with these extraterrestrial civilizations. Now, this is all kept very, very secret. And it's even kept secret from most of the people in power who you think would be managing this responsibly. So, Eisenhower used his last moments in office to warn us about the military-industrial complex. That's kind of weird that an outgoing president would do that. He should be bragging about his accomplishments, but instead he was warning us. And it's because he lost control of these UFO programs, and he saw it vanish into the private sector. So it's a big misconception that it's the government that's keeping it a secret. I know a lot of these Congress people who are trying to get to the bottom of this, and they can't even get access to this.
What do you make of people like what do you make of people like Anna Paulina Luna, Tim Burchett? These members of Congress seem to be pushing for disclosure. Are they legitimately, you think, searching for the truth?
Oh, absolutely. They are absolutely sincere, and they're frustrated because they come up against the same sort of brick wall that, us and the independent researcher community have been coming up against. This stuff is mostly not being hidden by the U.S. government. The official constitutional U.S. government has no access to this stuff. It's being hidden in what are called unacknowledged special access programs. These are illegal programs that are totally off the books, and they're hidden in the private sector. You're talking about
my final question to you, and we're going to continue this on the radio again because there's plenty more to go over. But if these advanced beings are so advanced, and some of them happen to be captured, they're obviously their intent is not to do us harm, or it would have happened. Correct, Michael?
Oh, absolutely. You're talking about civilizations that could have turned the Earth into a pink mist floating through the galaxy if they wanted to destroy us, and they could do it in a nanosecond. These are clearly beings that are concerned for our welfare and for what we're doing to the planet.
Okay. To be continued. Thank you very much. The book is Catastrophic Disclosure. Michael Mazzola, fascinating discussion. All right. One thing that I do know is that the left is unhinged. And you want some examples of that? Let's check out clip number 1.
President Trump is dead?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. Absolutely.
2647, explain it to me. I like the colors.
Kill the son of a bitch.
Kill who?
Wow, this 47th president.
Now, maybe I'm old-fashioned, but all these people, shouldn't they be arrested? I mean, aren't they making threats against the president? I mean, James Comey is one, but all these people, they just found spray painted in the bottom of the reflecting pool of the Lincoln Memorial, that same 8647. So whoever did that should be arrested, in my view. California Democrats are trying to cry poverty. They got a billionaire running. The rest of them are saying that, they grew up with nothing. Here's some of the latest comments at the recent gubernatorial debate. Let's check out clip number 2.
If you live in California and one of these Democrats wins, leave. They're all worse than Newsom, if you can believe that. So with the billionaire here on stage, please tell us how poor you all are.
I grew up in a working class family in a small farming town, paycheck to paycheck.
My parents came to this state with $12 in their pocket.
My mom struggled to make ends meet, and we rented for most of our life.
I'm the single mom of 3 teenagers who believe they will not be able to buy houses here in California.
Even now, I work an overnight job to put my kids through college.
Who the heck are you? You weren't at the last debate.
They're all poor, right? Sure. There's a chance a Republican could make a runoff. There's an outside chance 2 Republicans could make the runoff there in California, which would be outstanding. All right, a lot more to get to as we roll on. It is Ringside Politics right here on Real America's Voice. We'll talk to an expert on why we don't need to be building these AI centers all over like we're doing here in Louisiana. Jay Valentine is going to join us, and he's also been the one sounding the alarm about these mail-in ballots. I wish Republican leaders would listen to him, but we are. We look forward to having him on next, right here on Ringside.
Yes, I actually won.
See this? It just arrived from Deal Dash, a Nintendo Switch 2.
Look what I just won. I love Deal Dash.
With millions of auctions, you too can start winning, like this.
I got this amazing Japanese knife set for just 75 cents.
I got this KitchenAid stand mixer for only $56.
And today, new users get a $50 bonus credit. Go to DealDash.com right now for huge savings
and free shipping from our U.S. warehouses.
Hundreds of thousands of innocent children are being trafficked every year right here in the United States, and there's no greater crime against humanity. For years, Angel has been one of the few studios willing to shine a light in this darkness and demand that the world pay attention. Their new film, Still Hope, tells the true story of a young girl who was trafficked, rescued, and then faced something most people never think about: the long, painful road to healing. Most of us saw The Sound of Freedom and felt that outrage, but Still Hope asks the next question: what happens after the rescue? Because saving a child is just the beginning. Rebuilding their life, restoring their innocence, helping them find peace after unimaginable trauma. That's the battle that comes next. Stream Still Hope on Angel today. Share it with your friends and family. Let's make sure these children's stories are told so healing, hope, and change can follow.
You push it. You try to hold them shut, but your doors won't stay closed no matter what. Introducing Ruby Monkey Magnets. Ultra-thin magnetic plates that will keep your doors and drawers shut. Just peel to reveal the super strong adhesive. Place the monkey, then the magnet, and close. Installation is that simple, and now you have a door that will stay shut. The secret is the ultra-strong industrial magnet's powerful attraction that holds tight. Monkey magnets work on most surfaces and are perfect for cabinets, dresser drawers, sliding closet doors, and more. Even your outdoor problems are solved in an instant because they're corrosion and rust resistant. Call or go online now to get 8 sets of monkey magnets for only $9.99. Due to rising costs, this may be your last chance to get monkey magnets at this low price. There is a strict limit of 1 house pack per order. Call now.
Call 1-800-519-4389. That's 1-800-519-4389. Call or visit monkeymagnets.com. So call 1-800-519-4389 now.
It's time to stand up and save with InstaSeal by Bell & Howell, the world's first vertical vacuum sealing system designed to save you money. InstaSeal removes the air completely, extending freshness up to 6 times longer. Now that's saving. Get the complete InstaSeal system. Order now.
To order, call 1-800-308-6802. That's 1-800-308-6802 or order online at buyinstaseal.com.
Welcome back, folks. Joining us again on the program is a gentleman we visited with in the past. Always glad to have him on. He is a founder of Omega for America, and he's done extensive research into this whole issue of AI data centers that are popping up all over the place. Jay Valentine is with us here on the Ringside Politics program. And Jay, welcome back, sir. How are you?
Well, good to see you again. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm worried about my state. Louisiana is overrun with all these economic development officials and the governor and all these other people patting themselves on the back for the announcements of these data centers that seem to be popping up all over the place. They're claiming it's economic development, Jay. What say you?
Well, it is economic development in the short run because you're going to build these massive data centers. You're going to drive everybody's electric bill through the roof. You're going to have to drive overland AC wires that they will tell pregnant women not to get within 500 feet of. And all that's coming to your state, which will essentially destroy one of the most beautiful rural areas in America. And then what you're going to find is in about 5 or 6 years, they're all going to be abandoned. Why? Because quantum computing is right around the corner. Trillions of dollars of investment in quantum computing. And guess what? Quantum computing doesn't use those data centers. Fractal computing and low I/O computing is out there today, where any application in any data center, any application, the largest applications in the country, can run on a series of pieces of equipment that you can hold in your hand. You can plug in a wall. They run 1,000 to 1,000,000 times faster, and they use almost no energy at all. So there are so many technologies that are out there. They're not being publicized to folks who are not in the technology business, but those of us who are see them every day. And they are essentially, they're not making data centers obsolete, but they're making all these new data centers obsolete. And what's going to happen is they're going to be stranded, but your electric bills are going to go through the roof. These things are going to end up essentially just being out there, probably going to be places for people to store boxes, but they're not going to be running artificial intelligence.
So you've compared it to like the shopping malls of the 80s, right? That they're going to be these big facilities that are underutilized because, people don't need them anymore, right?
Well, sure, but we compare them to the shopping malls because it's exactly the same situation. So if somebody came into Louisiana today and they were going to build the Mall of America in Louisiana, everybody would say, well, wait a minute. Everybody does all their shopping on Amazon. They don't go to malls anymore. Well, the same thing's happening in compute. So those of us deep in the compute world, we're seeing that there's all these things coming out like edge technology, fractal technology, quantum technology. And none of this stuff uses data centers. Decisioning technology, none of it uses data centers. And all this stuff is going to be built. And the citizens are going to get screwed. And the guys are going to make all their money on the front end on construction. And you guys are going to get left behind.
Jay, the politicians must know this. These economic development officials must know it. These high-tech people that are pushing this thing must know it. I mean, Elon Musk and all these folks that are pushing these data centers, they know this, right?
Well, sure they do. And why are they pushing data centers? Because their competitive weapon is capital. These are guys who can raise unbelievable amounts of capital, and they want to put it to work. And the way to do that is to ignore the super hot IO, the quantum technologies that don't need data centers. So they're all about, let's build the world's biggest data center. Let's put every piece of information in it. But you don't need 4 data centers with every piece of information in the whole world in them. You only need 1 or maybe 2 if you have a competitor. But all of this stuff is being built. And it's being built at the same time that trillions of dollars are being invested into quantum, low IO technology, and edge computing, none of which use data centers, period.
And have you interacted with folks in Louisiana and other states to let them know that these are going to be obsolete? And what kind of response are you getting, Jay?
Oh, we've done more than that. I'm an expert witness in 7 states right now. So in 7 states, I literally will be called in by the lawyers for citizen groups. And they say, will you testify about why we need this? And I say, sure, I will come in and testify. And so the lawyers on the other side say, well, we want to question you. And I go, hey, guys, let me explain what I'm going to do. I'm not going to come in and testify and just talk. I'm going to come in with a computer under my arm that you plug into a wall. And that computer runs the election rolls for 26 states. Now, everybody knows every one of those 26 states needs a massive data center for its election rolls. I'm going to bring in a computer this big, and I'm going to plug it into the wall, and I'm going to show you 26 states operating 1,000 times faster than each state's data center, and they're all doing it on one computer that uses less power than a table lamp. So are we going in and talking? Yeah, but we're not talking. We're demonstrating this stuff is going to be obsolete in the next 3 to 5 years.
So I'm worried about the cost. I'm worried about what it's doing to the environment. I'm worried about what it's doing to our utility rates. And I'm worried about what it's doing to people's health, because I've seen all kind of reports that people that live near these things are really suffering health-wise. And those seem to be real reports. Mm-hmm.
People are running out of water. If you live anywhere near a data center, the amount of electric power that they generate is causing all kinds of problems. The electric rates are going up, and the electric companies will say, well, we're going to raise the rates, but we're going to get all those rates from these data centers. But these data centers aren't going to be around that long. But those rates are going to be forever, because those rates are stranded assets from your utility company. And we just did a webinar with one of the largest utility experts in the world. We did a webinar on March 5th. You can see it on the internet. And the webinar, 2 hours, and we literally demonstrated on the webinar one of the largest applications, a billing system for one of the world's largest utilities that runs for 90 hours in a data center. Consuming the data center, it runs in 9 minutes on a computer you can hold in your hand. That's 5,400 minutes with a data center. That's 9 minutes without a data center. And those economics are so powerful that you can't ignore them. Nobody is going to be paying for data centers when they can do the same thing on computers that are essentially free.
Jay, we have 30 seconds. What's the timeline for when this transition is going to inevitably occur?
Well, it's happening now. I mean, large corporations, large government agencies are starting to move to these new technologies. The problem is that it's these large data centers that you see out there, they're going to build them. They're going to tear up the land. And in 3 to 5 years, they're going to be obsolete, and your citizens are going to be screwed.
Well, we're trying to sound the alarm here in Louisiana and other states to limit the destruction from this as much as possible. Thank you for your work. We look forward to having you back on as we spread the truth about this. Jay Valentine with us. Thank you so much. Check out Jay's website, the Sustainable Computing Initiative.com. All right, another resource we love to bring on the program because he's got great information. He is an award award-winning investigative reporter, also a New York Times best-selling author. He's co-founder of God's Five Stones Foundation. Dr. Jerome Corsi is with us. Hey, Dr. Corsi, how you doing?
I'm doing good. It's good to be back with you, Jeff. Thank you.
Hey, thanks for joining us. So how are we doing in the Trump administration now in term two? Seems to be a lot of MAGA turmoil. Can we keep all this together for the midterms coming up?
Well, first of all, I think the turmoil is mostly in the reporting in the mainstream media, which would like it to be the MAGA movement in disarray. I don't think the MAGA movement's in any disarray. I think we're finding that President Trump will probably have to issue an executive order again, and I've been working with Peter Titkin, who's the attorney with Donald Trump. They've known each other since they were about 15 years old and went to military school together. And the truth is that the Democrats are joined by enough of the Republicans in the Senate that like the cheating, that like the ability to cheat in the elections.
Yes.
The SAVE Act is not going to get passed. So Donald Trump is going to have to, by executive order, issue under Article 2 powers as commander-in-chief and say we've got evidence that the Chinese have penetrated our elections. It's a foreign national security threat because foreign nations are entering the computers. If you look at gods5stones.com, there are algorithms, there are secret code in the state Board of Election databases to permit the creation of false records. And we take someone's name and change the middle initial, and you've got another record. And just give that a legitimate state ID and vote it in a mail-in ballot scheme.
So what is he going to do with his executive order? I mean, how can he stop this fraud?
Well, there's two or three things he can do. Number one, he can say that you're going to have proof of citizenship to vote. So no illegals vote. Secondly, he can say that you need a voter ID. You need a legitimate voter ID issued by the state or the federal government. And third, eliminate the paper ballots. Eliminate the machines and go to paper ballots, because the machines can change the voters' intentions. And finally, you're going to have to limit the mail-in ballots to the old absentee system, which was very tightly controlled, to eliminate these universal send ballots everywhere.
I love all those ideas. I'm in favor of all of them. But of course, if he issues this executive order prior to the midterms, these Democrat states are going to go apoplectic and file lawsuits and say they're not going to follow it, right?
Well, if he does it under a executive order under commander-in-chief, and it have to be a national emergency executive order, well, the courts aren't going to matter, because the presidential powers are sufficient that he can order in the National Guard to any state that didn't want to comply. And if you go back to the Eisenhower administration or the Kennedy administration, the National Guard were sent in to desegregate schools. And so therefore the president has this authority. So I think Donald Trump is very aware of the problem. We've made him extremely aware that the Democrats are going to cheat and they are going to try to steal the election. We also had some help. We had some help from the Supreme Court decision this past week that ruled as unconstitutional the gerrymandering by race.
Our district right here in Louisiana, yes. Right, yes.
And that's how the Department of Justice is going to take that seriously and apply it across the country before the election. The Department of Justice is taking action. There's 30 states being sued by the Department of Justice because they refuse to turn over their voter rolls to make sure that they're legitimate. And Donald Trump is not going to let the country go to vote with this much potential for fraud.
So this is all going to happen, you think, when? I mean, what is the delay? I mean, the SAVE Act is not going to pass. They're not going to do it. So he should do this now, shouldn't he?
Well, I think the wait was to see if the SAVE Act would pass.
No.
And if it weren't for about four or five Republicans, that including Thune, who is these. We have a uniparty. We have a uniparty where people are making too much money in Congress, and they're making all this money. They don't want to change the rules. If they've won, they don't want to change the rules, so they might be challenged. They want to stay in power. And name recognition is one of the most secure ways to get reelected.
I predicted a long time ago that these rhinos would never pass the Save America Act, and it's just not going to happen. So let's get this executive order going now. That would be my recommendation, Dr. Corsi.
Well, it's mine too, and we're making it to the president. I mean, this case is being made, and I think that Donald Trump is well aware of the problem. If the Democrats get control of the House, Donald Trump will face impeachment after impeachment. If the Democrats get control of the Senate, they'll remove him from office. And under the 25th Amendment, saying he's incompetent, or they'll remove him from some high crime or misdemeanor that they make up, just like we saw in the last 2 years of his first administration. And Donald Trump is well aware of that threat. He's taking much more decisive action this time than he did in his first term. And I don't believe he's just going to let this one slide by.
Right. Well, that's good to hear, because we certainly do need the president to be, aware of this. I'm glad he is, and taking action ASAP, because we cannot count on these rhinos. We know this, Dr. Corsi. It's just not going to happen. Final 30 seconds. Anything you want to share with our viewers on this?
Well, I think basically any communications to the White House or to congressmen and senators, of course, congressmen and senators aren't going to much help. But I do think you see even the court. I want people, the final thought, look up a Supreme Court case, which is Bost, B-O-S-T, versus Illinois State Board of Elections. It was decided in January. Chief Justice Roberts wrote the majority 6-3 opinion. It says anybody who's running for office can challenge a procedure of an election as being unfair. And the court overturned counting absentee ballots for extra days. So that's already there. Any state that has endless counting can already look to this Supreme Court decision to challenge the State Board of Election. Bost, B-O-S-T, versus Illinois State Board.
All right. Thank you for that. Thank you for your work, Dr. Corsi. Look forward to our next visit. Dr. Jerome Corsi with us here on the Ringside Politics program. All right. We'll talk about the Southern Poverty Law Center. Great ambassador for a wonderful group is going to be joining us, Project 21. Also, he's a chaplain. Ayesha Kruitz will be joining us. That's next, right here on Ringside.
Yes, I actually won.
See this? It just arrived from Deal Dash, a Nintendo Switch 2.
Look what I just won. I love Deal Dash.
With millions of auctions, you too can start winning, like this.
I got this amazing Japanese knife set for just 75 cents.
I got this KitchenAid stand mixer for only $56.
And today, new users get a $50 bonus credit. Go to DealDash.com right now for huge savings
and free shipping from our U.S. warehouses.
Hey folks, it's your friend John Rich. I co-founded Old Glory Bank because we heard too many stories about people getting canceled by their bank because they didn't agree with their politics. The government wanted to know where you shop. If you bought a Bible or you shopped at a sporting goods store, you're probably on a list. We created Old Glory Bank because America needed a bank that would protect their privacy and security. Exercising your constitutional rights is not a criminal activity, and neither is loving your country. At Old Glory Bank, we stand with you.
Hundreds of thousands of innocent children are being trafficked every year right here in the United States, and there's no greater crime against humanity. For years, Angel has been one of the few studios willing to shine a light in this darkness and demand that the world pay attention. Their new film, Still Hope, tells the true story of a young girl who was trafficked, rescued, and then faced something most people never think about: the long, painful road to healing. Most of us saw The Sound of Freedom and felt that outrage, but Still Hope asks the next question: what happens after the rescue? Because saving a child is just the beginning. Rebuilding their life, restoring their innocence, helping them find peace after unimaginable trauma. That's the battle that comes next. Stream Still Hope on Angel today. Share it with your friends and family. Let's make sure these children's stories are told so healing, hope, and change can follow.
I wasn't expecting this, but the documentary Death of Recess genuinely stopped me in my tracks. This isn't about dodgeballs and jungle gyms. It's about control. The modern American classroom didn't just happen. It was intentionally designed, standardized, and centralized. If you're a parent or plan to be, you absolutely 100% need to see this documentary.
Now streaming exclusively on Angel.
It's time to stand up and save with InstaSeal by Bell & Howell, the world's first vertical vacuum sealing system designed to save you money. InstaSeal removes the air completely, extending freshness up to 6 times longer. Now that's saving. Get the complete InstaSeal system. Order now.
To order, call 1-800-308-6802. That's 1-800-308-6802 or order online at buyinstaseal.com.
We report the news to you up front. Ringside Politics. Politics with a punch. Ringside Politics. Analysis made crystal clear. Ringside Politics. With your host, Jeff Cruaire.
Our next guest is with a great group that we work with a lot, Project 21. She's an ambassador. She's also a chaplain. Aisha Kreutz is joining us. Aisha, how are you? Welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm doing well. Thank you so much.
Thanks for being with us. Aisha, we learned that the Southern Poverty Law Center, according to the DOJ, has been funding groups that are on the extreme right and then calling out to their donors, oh, we got to stop these groups. So they've been funding the supposed threats that they're working against. Seems like to me the SPLC is totally phony and has been raising money to go after groups that wouldn't be in existence without their funding. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're exactly right. And when you look at it, obviously the Supreme Court, right, and this is all 9 Supreme Court justices ruled against, right, against it. So that really tells us a lot, right? Like this isn't just like one side or the other, and the fact that the Southern Poverty Law Center has, I'm not sure if you're familiar with legal insurrection. They had been like bringing up stuff about them for like 15 years, right, over these last years. But the fact that, right, that they raise millions of dollars, right, to fight the KKK, and then they're secretly paying the KKK.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, it's fraud, and 11 federal counts said so. And I think that should be very telling to people, right, that we shouldn't be trying to wash it underneath, the bridge or anything like that. And if you had a foreign entity doing the same type of thing, it's destabilizing our country. It's a treasonous act.
Well,
if it was, so
I think this group should be shut down, Aisha. And this was a group that had been advising the Biden Department of Justice, which is so crazy. The Biden Department of Justice has been getting tips from this group as to who to investigate. No wonder Christopher Wray said that white supremacy was the greatest threat that the American people faced. Let me ask you about Planned Parenthood. This is a group that we've been trying to get defunded now for years. Seems like the Biden administration was funneling money to them and mislabeling the money, like Benghazi and other labels that they were putting on it. We keep electing people that say they're going to stop funding Planned Parenthood, but they're still getting federal money. Aisha, how can we stop this?
I think that people have to actually hold elected officials accountable. And I also think that we have to seriously, in this country, decide if we are pro-life or not. And I think that is, right, there's a cultural battle and there's a legal battle that goes back and forth with this, and then there's the political one. And we have people that continuously get into, right, I mean, it's a uniparty. We have continuously the same people getting back into office that are voting against our best interest. And so when are we going to really stand up and say no more, right? We have to hold our ground. And it's one of the things even about Trump, right? Like if we stand up to him, he does recognize that and he will pivot, right? But if we continue to just lower the bar and say, okay, we're going to let it all go, that's on us, we the people. So, and from a cultural standpoint, like I said, I think that people are struggling with that question.
In our final 30 seconds, Reverend Harden over at the Compass Care Pregnancy Center has been targeted with firebombing, and the far left has tried to, shut down his facilities. I know you work with him. Is there any progress in trying to bring these people to justice?
There hasn't been much progress. You seem to, know a lot, and absolutely, they're not going after the arsonists. I think with the ruling, I was thinking about it before, that just happened in New Jersey, though, might help Compass Care because they're looking for their donor list as well, right? They firebombed the clinic. They tried to erase Compass Care, and now they are going after their donor list. And so, again, with that one ruling, I think that it's going to help them. But as far as going after the people that firebombed them, there hasn't been much progress at all on that, unfortunately.
And that's where we got to keep the pressure on, because those people need to be held responsible for what they did. Aisha, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Every time we gather, we have a video clip of the week. This one was submitted by ML in Michigan. Let's check out this Dearborn police officer. Makes a nice tackle. Let's check out our video of the week. That was definitely nice. Our memes of the week. Robert in Virginia offers this one. This is about Christopher Wray. Yes, very true, Robert. Gabriel R. has this one, number 2, about the thousands and thousands of annual victims of illegal alien invaders under the Biden-Harris nightmare, and separated from their families because they're dead. Thank you, Gabriel, for that one. And then Susan in California has a good one. Look at all these taxes that we pay. And then most of all, the federal income tax. And let's see our one from our great crew in Denver, our meme of the week. Yes. All right. Denver crew, well done. Thanks to all y'all for watching. We're on the radio during the week on WGSO. We'll be back right here next Saturday. Have a wonderful week, everyone. Keep it right here on Real America's Voice.
Losing your hair? Tired of hiding and looking older than you really are? With Bosley, you can get your real hair back permanently. One visit, one day.
Guys, it's so easy. It takes one day, and this is my real hair.
Bosley, America's #1 hair restoration experts. Exclusive high-density Verigraph technology will give you a thick and natural hairline.
Bosley gave me back my real hair in one day.
We're giving away a free real hair starter kit and a $300 gift card to everyone who scans this QR code. Bosley has performed over 500,000 procedures for men and women and has over 40,000 5-star reviews.
I'm a medical doctor myself. If you want the best result, you go to the best place, and that's Bosley.
It's affordable, 0% interest. If I can afford it, you can afford it.
Plus, it's all backed by the Bosley Real Results Guarantee.
Dude, scan the code, get the free kit. It is easy, and it'll change your life.
Scan, call, or go to Bosley.com right now.
Life is precious.
I want to make a point. No matter what happens, I'll always be there for you.
I know. When a woman experiences an unplanned pregnancy, she's faced with a difficult decision. Preborn connects with life-affirming pregnancy clinics across the nation and provides them with free ultrasound sessions for expectant mothers. When a mother sees her baby on an ultrasound and hears their heartbeat, it doubles the chance she'll choose life. With your gift of $28, Preborn will provide a free ultrasound for an expectant mother. Visit preborn.com/life to save a baby's life.
Did you know that thousands of authors across the country have written books and published them with Page Publishing? If you've written a book, Page can help you through the process. We cut through the confusion of the publishing world to make it easy for you. If we decide to publish your book, your work ends and ours begins. From copy editing and proofing to typesetting and book cover art, we get you printed, distributed, and sold on Amazon, Apple iTunes, and bookstores. We'll even promote your book.
Call for your free writer's guide, 800-319-0257, or scan the QR code now.